Eve and we're in the southern Flinders Ranges. Beautiful morning, absolutely stunning, not a breath of wind anywhere to be seen. Sun's out, no clouds, and the sounds are amazing. Quite a few kangaroos this morning in the campground, bit skittish. We're going to go up to Devil's Peak today and do a climb, show you the view. It's a really good, beautiful walk. Here's our setup. It's a nice little patch of dirt for a few days. We're going to have a coffee and get the show on the road. So we're making our way into Corn to do Devil's Peak, and we're outside of the Horseshoe now, which is where we're camped, and you can see the range out in the distance. I think there's Mount Remarkable out on the left, is it, Melissa? So I don't know if you can make it out in the distance there, but just on the left there is Devil's Peak, which is what we're about to climb. Certainly very Australian type outback scenery, deep red soils and salt bush as far as the eye can see, and kangaroos bouncing around out in the to the right here. So this is where we're going, Devil's Peak.
The big giant hill that makes your legs hurt.
Yeah, it's going to make your legs hurt, that's for sure. There'll be a good view when we get to the top.
Yeah.
So we ready everyone for Devil's Peak?
Yep.
Yeah, off we go. What do you call it, Ruby?
The hill that makes your legs sore.
Yeah. Pretty cool setting. Alright, so this is the route. We come from Corn and we're heading up to Devil's Peak. Wish us luck. The path's got steep very quickly. Starting to suck some big breaths. Obviously the camera won't pick up the gradient, but it's steep. Steep but beautiful. Trails littered in scat for our international viewers. And it's a typical kangaroo poo, which is not like wombat poo. If you don't know, wombat poo is square. I'm not sure I'll see any of that today, but fun fact for the morning. How's this rock formation? It's quite reminiscent of Remarkable Rocks on Kangaroo Island, for those people who've been there. Obviously there's only one here, but pretty spectacular. Nature just survives. Look at that old mallee root re-sprouting. Incredible. Yeah. Oh, it is. It's like a fridge. It's epic. Absolutely epic view. Probably a lot of wind noise, unfortunately. Cars down about here. So that is essentially what we've come up. One other person here today. Pretty good going. That's the Golf St Vincent out there. Sorry, Spencer Golf. As they say, what goes up must come down. Often the down is harder than the up. Down is definitely quicker than up. It's just as taxing though, just different muscles. Not used to it, particularly if you're an office jockey like I am. But nice breeze blowing now, and it's nice and cool. I think the forecast today was about 28 degrees, which is really probably a perfect day to do it in. Very rewarding. The kids have loved it. I think they struggled a little bit with the last section, but they'll soon forget that, and they're having a ball coming down. Lots of loose rocks, so you've got to be sure of your footing. As you can see, we've been here before, but not long to go now. So we're back on the flat now. Last little bit to the car, and that's Devil's Peak. Awesome walk. Doesn't take too long. Very, very rewarding, and fantastic scenery. Definitely give it a go over here. There are some challenging parts about it. The elevation of the rocks. We have a reasonable level of fitness, I think. Yeah, just out of corn. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. What do you think of that, girls?
Sore.
Sore?
My name was right. The hill that makes your legs hurt.
Yeah. What would you give it out of 10?
5.
5?
Yeah, it makes my legs
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Because the 2 points off.
Oh, wait.
Actually 7 out of 10 because
Yeah, more like 7.
3 points off. I bumped my head on the rock. I got a scratch and my legs are very sore.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you've done fantastic. What do you think, Melissa?
9 out of 10.
Yeah? What did you take a point off?
For listening to the girls complain.
Yeah. Well done. So here we are in a place called Hammond, bit of an old ghost town. It still has a few people living here, but it's largely deserted. But it really is quite a spectacular place. It's got so many beautiful old buildings, and sits in the backdrop of the southern Flinders. You can see the Horseshoe out in the distance here. It's hard to see over here, but Hard to see over there, but that's the horseshoe. Yes, I'll give a little bit of a drive past some of these magnificent old buildings. The old Catholic church. Still standing today. I don't know if it's used at all. But, old Bank of Adelaide. Don't think that even exists anymore. Someone lives there. And the old general store. A long way from what we know as general store today. And the old corner bar. You can imagine the stories that's seen over the years after a hard day's cheering and relentless heat. So today is Christmas Day, 25th of December. We've had a lot of presents with family and everything else that you can imagine that happens on Christmas morning. Nice breakfast. Another beautiful sunny day. It's very windy today, unfortunately, but nonetheless we're slowly getting ready for a late lunch. So we're out at the Horseshoe Bocce Champions here. Oh, nice shot, Fraser. Oh, roll back, roll back. It's a close call. Close call at the Horseshoe Bocce Championship. Well done, everybody. Great game. Great game. Well done.
High five.
I've not filmed a lot today. Obviously, been Christmas Day. Awful lot been going on. Sun is slowly going down. It's been a pretty windy day actually, but lots of fun. All things being equal tomorrow, maybe go for a walk through the conservation block. It's a piece of land in the station that has been fenced off and for the purposes of regeneration and growth, so good to go see progress there. I should say it's been fenced off for many years, but each year it gets better depending on how dry it's been. And then if I can be asked, maybe in the afternoon, I might climb up what they call Mukra Tower. It's actually not on this plot of land, but it's nearby. A tree typically needs to be about 50 years old before a hollow will form. So when we talk about chopping trees down and replacing them with 2 trees or more trees, it does not account for the time it takes for a tree to mature and to provide habitat and everything else. So trees are very undervalued in this country, in my humble opinion. The old Stumpy's out for a little bit of sunshine. Hello, little mate. How you going? Hey? Amazing blue tongue on them. Catching a few sun rays. Well, a bit of a breeze this morning, but nothing like last night. The wind swung around and required a 2 AM emergency, put the awning away. So that can be a bit challenging on your own in the middle of the night, but anyway, crisis averted. Probably would have been fine, but flapping around a fair bit of stress on it, so keeping me awake if nothing else, so good to have put that down. Don't want to wake up with an enormous bill. Yeah, beautiful and sunny. Just about to have some bacon and eggs for brekkie, and we'll get the day started. an enormous amount of bird life here. In the morning it's just beautiful sounds of the galahs and various different bird types. And this morning we've got the apostle birds coming to say hello to us. So we're heading to the conservation block. Just some farm tracks to get across to get there. Pretty easy going. Of course at Christmas time there's no one else out on the property, so it's very quiet. It gives you a great sense of isolation and peace, which is awesome. So it's the start of the conservation block. It's a bit windy. First hurdle was up this nice hill. So the start of the walk is quite well posted with these yellow star droppers, and you head in towards the along the creek, and opens up into a nice valley. I'll show you soon. It's not too hard going, but as you can see, this is all once used for grazing and the like. There's been no grazing allowed on here for many years. Beautiful old grass trees. Keep my eyes open for the odd snake. And we're just quiet. Just walked up upon an emu. One's already run away. Off he goes. Oh, quite a few of them. Off they run. That's pretty good for literally 15 metres into the walk. There's a kangaroo just over here. He's seen us. Just sussing us out, ears up, wondering what we're doing here. The end of everlasting flowers, naturally dried. Would have been quite pretty when they were in flower, of course. I think it was last Easter maybe that I spotted an echidna through here. It was quite a sight. You can certainly see how healthy everything has grown through here. Just had the opportunity to keep the animals off, stop it from grazing, and nature's taken over, and it's pretty impressive, looking very healthy and lush. There's not a lot of these little spots left anymore, so it's a rare thing where you get a farmer that returns the land back to nature. It's a great example of balance, I think, or better balance. And so we head out of the gully now and start heading up the hill a bit. Different landscape, but you get a view very quickly emerging too. And this is looking down through the Horseshoe Valley. And I don't know if you can really tell, but that's the entrance to the Horseshoe shaped range. You weave yourself through that when you drive into the property. And what you don't realise is that when you get on top of these ranges all around and you look on the other side, this is at a much greater elevation, so you get a pretty special view. And then the landscape changes momentarily as I guess we're out of the wind. Bit of a rocky escarpment area. Of course, if you'd come here during winter, the place looks remarkably different. Obviously, there's rain. It's very green. It's a couple of kangaroos bouncing by. Yeah, bit of rain transforms the place. Obviously, it's very dry country, particularly the last few years. Pretty low on the rainfall. In fact, I think been about this year they went 6 months without a drop of rain. Another kangaroo just bouncing away down there. See him cross the road in a sec. Oh no, he stopped just shy of the road. Make a liar out of me. He's looking at us now. So before White Man came along, another little kangaroo there, just getting just that tiny little tree over here, just getting a tiny little shade from it. Of course, we've come and stuffed it up. Beautiful, off he goes. Yeah, so if you look at the valley in front of us, it's the Horseshoe Valley, or Pound, I guess it is. Right through here, because it's quite protected, as I understand it, had a very unique flora to the surrounding areas, and I think that's still true to this day, even though, as you can see, it's primarily been cleared and used for grazing and cropping and all sorts. But this once would have been an oasis, I guess, out in this arid land. And I don't know if you can make it out on the camera, but there's a big expanse of green goes out into the valley there. That's the last surviving remnant bushland in the range, so it's pretty special stuff. You don't, again, there are areas like that you just don't get anymore. In fact, more and more we seem to dispose of trees and bushland like it has very little value. And here we are at the very top of the hill. It's quite amazing, really. And the sun sets out over to the west here, of course. So you can imagine what sort of sunsets there are. This time of year, it's clear skies. You certainly still get a beautiful glow, but not quite as spectacular when there's a bit of cloud in the sky. Looks like Melissa's broken one of the markers, taking a farmer's approach to repair. Nothing a rock won't remedy. Oh, got the right rock for the job now. Oh. Also standing in bull ants and about to get feet covered in them. I think you might need a hammer, darling. Good job. We'll keep moving, get away from the bull ants. So, we've just come across the track. This is the road you take up to one of the most spectacular campsites on the property, called World's End. It's a bit of a four-wheel drive track getting up there, and it's quite an exposed site, but it's very spectacular. Views right across the valley. Well worth it if you have the means and you come up this way. And here we are, virtually back at the car, and that's the conservation block. Hopefully the audio wasn't too bad. A pretty windy day. Still great fun, lots to see, lots of animals. Great views. Definitely thoroughly recommend it if you're staying out at the Horseshoe Top End. Chat to Jim, whose property we've been at the last few days. So Jim, we're in the southern Flinders. But where are we in the southern Flinders?
On me deck. We're probably more southern to central Flinders. We're east of Quorn, west of Caravan, if that means anything to anyone. Quorn possibly, and southwest of Hawker. So we're tucked away in a range of hills/mountains called the Horseshoe Range.
And what's your relationship to this piece of land?
Grew up here, born locally, raised here through my, I wouldn't say formative years, but a lot of them would have been, certainly primary school years. Come back after high school from education in Adelaide and started farming. Yeah, then just everything changed. I met Treasy, got married, we worked off farm for a while initially, then come back on the land, and then went away again for 30 odd years to educate kids and stuff, and now we're back here in retirement, doing everything that most old bastards don't do. Most of them get off the land at our age and go to a town, but we sold our house in the town and moved out here.
And you're not the first family to live here, so you've got quite a lineage in terms of family connection with this property.
Yeah, no, our family were one of the first settlers in here, like the Connells, but the Connells and Maloney's were probably the two first in here, and Carnes. There were up to 12 families living in here, probably since the 1880s through to the turn of the century, maybe 1920. There was a school in here that opened in 1900 and shut in 1920. So there was a fair little spread of people in here, and their service centre was Hammond, which is about 25 k's south of here.
And if you could name one thing that you love most about the Horseshoe Range, what is it?
It's probably the magic. That's probably not the right word, but once you get involved in the country in here, it really just never gets out of your system. So it's, I don't know what the word is, but you always, once you've been here, you sort of do get connected. So it's just really the connection to the land in here really that brings us back every time.
And in recent years, obviously you've farmed the property for a long time, and your father before you, but in recent years you've opened the property up to a bit of tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us a little bit about that. Why do people come here?
I think people come here mostly for the solitude. They don't like being crowded, so like our campsites and accommodation is all inclusive. Well, not inclusive, it's, there's another word, I don't know. Every campsite is private, you get that to yourself, so if there's only one of you or 20 of you, your group has that campsite, you don't have any randoms pulling in beside you. And people love that, they just love being able to get to an area where they feel as if they're the only ones there. And it must be an attractive thing because we've got a very high percentage of people who come back all the time. I'm talking 75-80% are return visitors or been recommended by someone else. But and it is peaceful. People come here and they just find the peace and quiet remarkable. And by doing conservation work that we have been doing for the last 30 years, we've got a fair variety of bird and animal life in here as well, and people seem to like that. And also too that it's so close to Adelaide. We're only 380 k's from Adelaide.
So you mentioned the conservation work. Obviously this land's been worked. What have you been doing in terms of the conservation?
Well, if you're in high rainfall country, like Eastern America we've had a bit to do with, if you clear a patch of land there, it regrows within 15 years back to its former self, and I'm talking forest country, trees that are 10 metres tall, all of that sort of thing. But here, if you clear country in this land, it takes 50 to 100 years to actually regenerate. So we have shut up a lot of country that we've had remnant vegetation on, just to watch things improve. And we've cut back on sheep numbers across the whole farm. And we've been trying to stem the flow of water. Like all of the country in here was scrubbed up until settlement of Europeans. And there was permanent water in the lower parts of the basin in here, which is now the Bellarata Creek. And that's no longer the case because the land was cleared in the 1880s through to the 1910s or 20s, and water's just run out. Erosion's been pretty bloody prolific, so it just takes a long time, but you have to start somewhere. So we're making the start, and hopefully family will keep it going when we're finished. And I'll be planted here too, a bit of blood and bone. Maybe.
You'll be planning where we put you, I think.
Yeah, I'll be dead and won't know, really.
And for visitors that come out here, what are the sort of things that they tend to get involved in terms of extracurricular activity?
Four-wheel driving is probably the big thing. Most people come out here, some paint, some do their artwork in the campgrounds, and some of that's pretty specky too from time to time. And there's also, did I mention four-wheel driving? I probably did. We've got some amazing scenery, particularly from the mountaintops, and our tracks. We've got 30 kilometres of tracks that people have got access to, while they're camped here, for the whole time they're camped here. But it's $50 a vehicle for anyone who just comes in and wants to drive a track. But they just seem to love it. They can spend a couple of days, 2 or 3 days out on the tracks if they really wanted to.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate chatting to you.
Yep.
Well, here we are, about to do it must be nearly 7 o'clock climb to Nova Terra with the girls. How are we feeling, girls?
Good.
Good. Gate's locked, is it? First hurdle. Bit of the walk is up the old fire track. I think trick here is just to remember which path you take. Straight up.
Yeah.
Geez, all the calitris trees look a bit worse for wear. I don't remember them being quite so savage. Clearly the droughts had an impact. So let's get a bit of a rock climb up. Pretty good, eh, Matilda? Pretty.
Yeah.
I found a bit of a pathway up. Not quite sure whether it was the right path to take, but you certainly see Nova Terra right in front of us now, so providing there's no major obstacle, we're on the right path.
We're out to climb like that.
If you want to. And here is Nova Terra. It's pretty specky. few pretty big steps here. Okay, just constantly looking out for snakes. Almost there. Oh, here we go. We made it to the top of Nova Tower. We're going to start making the trek down, I think, in a sec before we run out of sunlight.
No, it's just my hat.
Certainly a good way to finish off our trip to the Horseshoe. We've got to go in the morning. Got to get back in time to pick up the dog. Okay, now we've got to get back down the hill. Must be out the wind for a moment. Hard to leave with that sun setting like that. When I move it, I'll have no light left. Back at the car safely, just enough light. We're heading home today. It was a fairly quick trip, 4 odd days. We've jammed a fair bit in, given Christmas Day was in the middle. Look, it's a beautiful part of the Flinders Ranges. Not something that is advertised very much in Australia. Often, you know, the Wilpena Pound is the thing that gets promoted the most, and obviously that is very spectacular, but equally the rest of the Flinders Ranges, I encourage you to come have a look. There's so much to do, and what we've done over the last few days, just on this station, is only a small portion of what's available. Not to mention the great camping that exists here. You can camp on this station pretty well in isolation from other campers, and you can sit and relax, do nothing if you want. Another windy day today. It's getting hot in the next couple of days, so in some ways it's good to be heading back towards the coast. Anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed this very small video, and I thank you for watching, and see you next time.